This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Prash Kotecha. Welcome.
Thank you, Brian. Glad to be here.
Tell me about you. Where are you from and what do you do?
So I am proudly of Indian heritage, but I have spent the last 4 decades in the gangsters' paradise known as London, England. I came from East Africa and in the early 70s with the African exodus, and have spent the rest of my life living right here in London. My name is Prashant in full, Prash for short, and Prashant is actually a Sanskrit word, oldest language in the world, about 8,000 years old, and it means always peaceful, which probably for 3/4 of my life I didn't live, and I'm kind of finally trying to embody that over the recent years.
What was the calling to you to go out and start your own podcast?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I can tell you exactly what it was. I feel, in the words of Marianne Williamson, I was playing small. I've set up something and kind of talk about this mantra therapy, and I'm reaching out to an audience of professionals here in London and over Facebook now, getting advantage of social media, but I'm not taking full advantage of that. And I felt that there's a message, there's wisdom that has to cross borders. And so looking at podcasting as a vehicle to actually get a powerful message, bring powerful guests together and actually take them on a journey beyond borders, not just a natural thing. And so podcasting started to float in my mind.
And what about your life? Why was this the moment for you to go ahead and do this? What was going on around you, personally or professional-wise?
Personally, professionally, I have a alter ego. I think I'm some sort of crazy Cape Crusader because I have a day job that hustles and pays my bills. And then the journey to taking this spiritual message beyond borders has always been a compelling move for me. It's always been something that's been on my mind and in my heart, that how can we raise the consciousness of this planet? How can we help people? How can we contribute? If we're not contributing, we're dying. So the desire to contribute and do something good, broadcast it out to people, has always been a compelling thing. And I thought, well, podcasting is going to be a great vehicle to do that. We better reach anybody anywhere in the world. Be able to take a message that's powerful, impactful, without fuss and botheration, and really penetrate people's hearts right where they are in any medium. And that's the power of this consumption, I think. This particular medium gives us beyond anything else.
Tell me about your podcast. What is it and what were some of the big highlights of the course?
So my podcast is Urban Spirituality. I came up with that name after so much soul searching, but it's Urban Spirituality, the show that's all about making spirituality work in an imperfect world. And it's an imperfect world. And I was just kind of growing sick and tired of people either labeling spirituality with a dirty word or a taboo or associating it only with religion. And then people were not really grasping that. And I thought, wait a minute, we all have a spirit. Our true nature is pure consciousness. We're all pure consciousness. Therefore, spirituality is our essence. We just need to take the spiritual word, spirituality, and allow that to help us connect with our true essence, because that's what we're about. If we're not happy and connected to our true essence, then how can we align ourselves with happiness? People chase happiness. They should be chasing peace, which comes from alignment with our spirit. Urban spirituality is the birth child, therefore, of something that takes authentic dialogue, unfiltered conversation with real people who've been on journeys, and just allows them to express spiritual tools that give you spiritual tools, traits, and abilities to be able to inject this into people's daily lives. And I want it to be practical. So that's what urban spirituality is. It's an opportunity to get professionals to start taking bite-sized chunks of spiritual wisdom, embracing it, feeling it, living it, and sharing it with other people.
But what are your plans for this podcast?
Good question. So my plans are, the monthly calls are going to go on. We're going to keep people accountable, as you say. My plans are to now take what I started, this independent, spiritual-driven community, mantra therapy, which I started 8 years ago. 10,000 people now have experienced it, which couples live events, workshops, retreats, and now bolt that on to take it beyond borders. From London, where it's based, where most of our people come and where we take people to retreats in Europe, now's the chance to take a podcast, spread that message beyond borders, and see that message grow so that the podcast grows, the quality and the quantity of guests who have powerful and diverse spiritual messages also grows. We see that journey over the coming year, which will hopefully turn into podcasts, future events, special events or retreats with some of the guests, and an opportunity and a platform for people to share their talents and skills much wider than the UK.
And what about Prash? How is he different?
I'm less of an asshole. I'm still an asshole in some way, for sure. I'm sometimes my own worst enemy. In the Bhagavad Gita, ancient Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, for one who has learned to control the mind, it is the best of friends. But for one who hasn't, it's the worst enemy. So sometimes my mind, my worst enemy. But allowing myself to get beyond my comfort zone. And that's what this podcasting was. Make no mistake, for me, A, the Indian inside me doesn't want to spend money. And two, sorry guys, Indians out there. And two, my personal resistance on time and so forth. Just to overcome those two things and be coached by somebody who's, been through the trenches has been such a liberating experience that our ego gets nicely kicked. And the negative aspects of our personality start to shed. And I think that you can't put a price on that. What BY are doing right here, you can't put a price on that, because it is shaping souls and it's curing hearts and cutting egos, slicing them up, dissecting them so you get the true essence of somebody.
It's very well put.
Dude, it's the truth.
The next 12 months are going to be big. We're going to be watching you. I'm expecting big things, more resistance to be conquered, more egos to be sliced. But again, I appreciate your energy. And obviously you need to share that energy with the world. You got a great vibe. So let's just go make this world a better place. All right.
We're going to do that one podcast at a time, one authentic soul at a time. And we'll take this message and create a tribe that together can make a transformation on this whole world.
I'm in, man.
Amen.
Thank you so much,
Namaste,
man.
brother.
Let's do this, yeah?
Thank you so much, man.
All right, buddy.